When I first came to Pakistan, it was like a very good culture shock. Everyone has past traumas. Most of the people, they have troubled childhood. So if you are hurt, then you hurt other people.
One thing which is your aim, that is your message to spread to everyone.
Okay, it's a struggle every day, first of all. It's an everyday struggle, and you have to choose yourself every day. It's not one-time thing.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode on the Aam Aadmi Podcast. This is Pernea back with an entirely different guest. So the guest I have here today is a former radio presenter at the Asian Star Studio and a director at M92 TV, and she is none other than Afsheen Ali. So hi Afsheen, how are you?
Hello, Pernea. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am terrific, I'm great. Could you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. As you have already given a tiny intro anyway, but let me tell you that I'm Afsheen, and I've been working as radio presenter in Pakistan, and I did work as radio presenter in Asian Star 101.6 FM in London, and I used to work as a TV host, and yeah, that's it. And other than that, I have been running some campaigns about body shaming, body confidence, bullying, harassment. Why I have been running these campaigns? Because I also have been the victim. Oh my God, that was horrible phase of my life. But what I did, I tried to turn my pain into power, and I started to run some campaigns and about bullying, harassment, body shaming, and I hope that I did help people. Because when people used to come to my page, I used to get really good positive feedback, that I'm kind of an inspiration. And that was actually my aim, to give inspiration to people. Yeah, and I was also part of kindness campaign. So yeah, I've been doing this.
I hope all of this inspires a lot of people. Like, you are a role model for me right now because I have gone through the same myself. So moving on, when did you come to Pakistan?
Well, I used to come to Pakistan frequently back in 2016. And when I first came to Pakistan, it was like a very good culture shock. And I was so happy. And I was just like, okay, that's not the Pakistan that I have been, watching on TV. And that's not the image that I had in my mind, although I'm a Pakistani. But still, I was kind of scared, and that's a shame. And when I came to Pakistan, I was so happy because it was so positive and everyone was so good to me, and weather is so nice and everything is so nice and so beautiful. So I really did enjoy coming to Pakistan. So after that, I started to visit frequently here, and not just me, but I started to ask my British and my Irish friends to come to Pakistan, and we started visiting as well. And everyone was like so shocked in a very good way. Yeah, Pakistan is a very beautiful country. So I think you should come to Pakistan, visit, and just have your own experience, and you will know that it's a beautiful place to be.
So I can take it as your initial reaction when you came here?
Yes, that was my initial reaction.
Wonderful.
And after that, what actually happened, I was also kind of confused, that how should I behave here? And, I was confused regarding socialization and things like that. But I am learning. I'm still learning.
So did you have any friends when you came here? Or you had to start from square one?
To be very honest, Pernea, I did not have any friends at all. And actually, I had to stay longer during COVID period in Pakistan. And, COVID times were really, really hard for everyone. And everyone was isolated. So it was really hard to socialize anyway. It was very, very hard for me to socialize. And I had no friends at all. And I tried to make friends, and I tried to do it in the London way. But then I learned that, okay, that's not how things are done here in Pakistan, because people behave differently here than London. Mindset was different. How people behave is different, and how people actually socialize is different. And I used to socialize in London differently. So that's why it was very hard for me. It was very hard for me. It was a struggle.
Okay, can you elaborate on the difference of mindset when you were talking about UK and Pakistan. Can you like further elaborate on that? That what do you mean when you say mindset?
Well, to be very honest, okay, I'll give you an example. If you go and buy a car in Pakistan, not everyone, please don't get me wrong, no offense to anyone, but most of the people, they would be like, okay, they would hide, if there is any fault in the car, they would hide the fault. But in UK or in European society, most of the time, well, good and bad people are everywhere, but most of the time, they're very honest in every sense. If you're going to buy something in UK or in Europe, they're never going to hide the fault. They will actually tell you the fault before everything else. But what I found different in Pakistan was that people hide the fault and they show you something else, which can be anywhere in the world. But most of the time, I did not find people too much honest about things here, and it's also not just related to one thing. It's also about personalities. People do mask a lot here. People do hide stuff a lot here. Or you could say people do suppress things here in this society, in this region, in India, Pakistan, subcontinent. That's how I think things are here. That's how society is here. We are encouraged to suppress. So that was a mindset that was very confusing for me. Like if you talk to me, the way I'm talking to you right now, I'm the same person when I'm talking to my family. I'm the same person when I'm talking to someone in some institution. I'm the same person everywhere. But here, what I felt was people have different personalities. They have different face in front of their family. They have different face for their colleagues. They have different face at the workplace. So, well, it is important to have that. And people do have that in every society. But in Pakistan, it is very different. It is very, very different. It's on some other level. And that was very hard for me to understand. But now I'm trying to understand things. And I hope I'll survive.
When you spoke about mindsets, that got me wondering, since we're talking about mind so much, so did you ever like go through a difficult time? If yes, were there people to sit by you or give a listening ear?
Yeah, of course. Everyone has ups and downs in their life. Life is a test for everyone. Yes, I have been through difficult times, and I did struggle. Mind is something that we really ignore. It is something that if we take care of our physical health, why don't we take care of our mental health? That was a thing that was never taught to me. Sorry, to be very honest, and I'm very, very sorry. I'm saying this. Because that's how most of the families are here, and even the education system. We don't think that it's important. Mental health? Okay. What mental health? Mental health. We don't care about mental health. But where's mind? It's there in you. Here. Mind is here. So, you have to take care of your brain health. So that was a reason, because we don't have mental health education. I wasn't told that mental health is very important and I have to keep myself safe, because sometimes what happens is, like you're an empath and you're open to every kind of energy, and you let every energy to get into your circle. You give access to everything, negative, positive. So we are not taught in a very intelligent way that you have to protect yourself, and you have to work, and you have to put work in your mental health and well-being. So that was also one of the reasons that I did struggle. And I think it's one of the reasons that most of the youngsters, they're struggling. And we don't address it in the beginning. But when we address it, we start addressing mental health issues, or we start to understand when it's just over. It's, like it's just at the verge of becoming, like a big disease. And it's a taboo. It's a taboo for us. I think if we start addressing just at the beginning, we can really work well collectively towards this issue. So yeah, there were people with me when I was struggling, and at the same time there was no one with me, even from loved ones. I had they kind of were bashing me, if I was having any mental health issues, because I couldn't tell them, I couldn't address them, and I couldn't tell them to just get aware about issues or get some education, because in our surroundings, in our families, we can have people who are narcissists. Even our parents can be narcissists. We can have people who are suffering of anger issues or things like that. The thing is that it's a taboo, so we cannot address it. And when we react, because we think that maybe we are the problem. Our reaction actually becomes a problem towards these issues. So it's very important to get education about that. Sorry, Alami, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I did not have anyone to sit by me and talk to me. But after a few years, when I did struggle, I was like, okay, I have to take power into my own hands, and I have to move on, and I have to put effort in myself. After a few years, I found people, really good people, who really helped me out to take me out of the dark places. So it was like, at the beginning, I had no one but then, because the faith I come from, we can never lose hope in divine source, in Allah. And there was a tawakkul that really made me strong. And so I did put tawakkul in Allah, and Allah made ways for me, people, strong people for me, who made me stronger and who had back for me.
Okay, since we've touched the topic about narcissism, so what's your stance about showing empathy towards narcissists, as they turn into one due to traumas in the past or childhood experiences, maybe? Do you think they
Yeah.
deserve empathy?
Okay, as you have mentioned, past traumas, and why should we have empathy with narcissists? Okay, everyone has past traumas. Everyone has, most of the people, they have troubled childhood, and we all go through past traumas. But what actually happened is that most of the people who have faced really troubled childhood, what they do, they become kind people. They become a compassionate personality towards other people. So if you are hurt, then you hurt other people. So it means that you are not healed properly, and that's why you hurt people. So problem is that if there is a narcissist around your surroundings, and for example, you're hurt by them, it means that maybe they are not healed properly. And secondly, yes, they have been through past traumas. Yes, they have been through childhood traumas. But how did they react towards it? For example, if I'm an empath, I started to react in a positive way, and I started to be compassionate, more empath towards other. And I started doing things, to heal others. That was my reaction. That was my decision. To be very honest, Pernea, I had a really, really, really struggling, troubled, painful childhood, and I have so many past traumas. But I cannot stay in that trauma. I cannot start hurting others because I have been facing those traumas. What I did, I started to put work in myself. I started to heal myself, and I became more compassionate towards other people. And I cannot see anyone suffering in front of me. But some people, they choose to hurt others. They're just like, okay, I've been hurt like that. I'm gonna hurt you because I was hurt like that in my past. So yes, if you say that, okay, these are these kind of people, and how can you be compassionate or empathetic towards these people? Like, they're hurting you. Well, if you're an empath and you're still having compassion towards the people who hurt you and who are narcissists, you're a hero, because you have a capacity to love, to give love, and their incapability of being an empath, it has nothing to do with you. It's their problem, and it's also not your job to fix them, to heal them. Yes, you can address them, you can give them awareness, and if they're willing, you can ask them to go to therapy. If you can ask them to change their ways, which is very rare because it's a very complicated disorder. But good thing is that you are educating yourself. Saving yourself and not getting harmed is your right. So you can have boundaries, you can have empathy, you can have sympathy with them, and at the same time, you can have boundaries. So have boundaries with them, you can stay with them, but don't let yourself be abused in a way that you lose yourself. You have your individuality, you have to keep yourself safe. Yeah, you can have empathy towards anyone, and you should have.
I feel the stigmatization regarding mental health is just still there. It remains regarding depression, anxiety, disorders. What's your take on that? Do you agree?
Yeah, of course, there's stigma around mental health issues. People don't want to talk about it. Okay, there are some disorders that are like in our genes, or they're like clinical disorders. We are not talking about them. And I want to give a disclaimer that I'm not an expert or something. We are just sharing our personal views and experiences. So clinical things are different. It's in your genes, like schizophrenia and things like that. But non-clinical things, you like behavioral issues, environmental issues. These are things that we should definitely address, and we need to create awareness about it. We need to get educated about it, and I believe one day I'm going to make it a mandatory subject in every school. Psychology, like human psychology. It's very important to learn, and it's very important to teach each other intelligence, emotional intelligence. We have to be intelligent emotionally, and I think it's very selfish that if you have learned that you are okay, you're very emotional, you're very intelligent emotionally, but you're not teaching others, like your friends or people in your family. I think it's very selfish. So we need to tell people that have some awareness about mental health issues, and being self-aware about you, about your mind, about your behavior, and doing some inner shadow work. That's a thing that we never ever do. We think that we are not accountable of anything. Oh, I'm the best person. No one is perfect. I can have issues, you can have issues. We have to do some inner shadow work. We have to put some effort. It's a thing that we have to choose every day. It's not one time thing. So we have to get educated first, and then we have to create awareness around it. And when we will get education about mental health issues, then I think we will have less stigma about mental health things. And you are very much right that it is very much stigmatized in our society. But what I have observed in both the societies, like in Western part and in Pakistan, that in West, you have access to therapies very easily. Like, your GP is going to refer you to some therapist, and you can get therapy, and it's quite easy. And what happens is, like, you don't want to put effort in yourself, and you know that, okay, you're suffering of this and this or this disorder, you're definitely going to get some help. And that's also not, in my point of view, I don't think so that it's very, very good, because you kind of become lazy and you don't want to put any work. And in Pakistan, it's like another extreme level, that there is no help available. Like, of course, there are psychiatrists, of course, there are people who are working for that, of course, there are psychologists, but therapy is something, it's like discouraged. Okay, yes, now parents are trying to get help for their kids, and they're taking them to psychologists. But when they do that when it's just, things are like out of control, and they're like, okay, we have to take the child to psychologist or psychiatrist. And I think if it's limited to the student thing, if there are any other issues, like if there's a housewife, she's suffering of anything, she's going to suppress her emotions. It's a stigma. She cannot come out and say, okay, I think I have OCD and I need a therapist. And they would be like, huh, why do you need a therapist for OCD? Because it can be a problem. It can be really a really, really bad problem. And it's no shame to ask for help. So I would like to tell to people, I would like to encourage you, if you feel that, okay, you're having some symptoms about any disorder, there's no shame asking help, and just go talk to your friends, talk to your family, and get help. And it's good for you. It's good for people. And if you think that there's someone who's your loved one and they are suffering of something, please don't make it a stigma at all. It's not a taboo. It's not a stigma. It's your brain. Don't you want to function, well? We all want to function well, and we have to put effort collectively. Why don't we want something collective that is good and beneficial for whole society? Why don't we want that?
I think giving up is not the solution. You are absolutely right. Everyone, even the audience, if you're going through something, you should opt for therapy or any other option. Talk to someone who is close to you. Get any sort of help, but giving up is never the option. Is that what you agree on? Yeah.
True.
So if a person harms themselves or ends their life due to any personal battles, what is the response that you get to hear from the people around you? Like, do you think the society still requires mental health education?
Well, suicide or having suicidal thoughts or, harming yourself, it is something that Whenever it happens in any society, of course, people bash it. The thing is, of course, it should not be glamorized. It's never the solution to, finish yourself for anything, because you're stronger than your issues. You have to do work for you. And what I have observed in any society is like, people are like that, okay, he or she should not have killed herself, she should have put some effort in her. Maybe it could be something, like, yes, we sometimes lack empathy. We should have compassion. Okay, this girl or this guy was going through something very, very difficult, and maybe they found this thing an escape from the reality. But that's not going to solve anything. We cannot glorify it, because there could be some solution, and there was a solution. It's just we have to be patient. It's sorry, I'm just putting it, and maybe people will say that she's going to some other track, but how did I cope was like, I started studying, divine source and, religion and things like that. And it really connected me with myself and Allah. And I was just like, okay, I was giving up myself for this, for this dunya. You cannot give up on yourself. Like, Pernea, if Pernea loves herself, how can Pernea just abandon herself? Anyone can abandon you, but even if you're killing yourself, did you even abandon yourself when you were trying to slit your wrist? No, you were still with you. It's just you just lost yourself during the journey, during your struggling journey. And was it worth it losing yourself? No, it's never worth it losing yourself. Don't lose yourself. The thing is that we seek validation from others. We start depending on others. We lose our individuality. We think, okay, for example, if we try to mix with some people, we have some friends, we become a tiny part of them, all of them, and we start losing our personality. Okay, it's good to have some influence from friends. It's good to have some good things from your friends, but it's not good to seek validation from them. It's not good to be, dependent on someone. When you start losing yourself, that's a problem. Please don't lose yourself. Again, I'm going to say that I think we should not glorify suicide, or we should not glorify this thing that, okay, she gave up and she killed herself. But at the same time, we should have empathy, and we should have sympathy towards everyone, towards every human being. And when should we have empathy? If someone has killed herself or himself, and then you're having sympathy, empathy, what's the point then? Why didn't you come with empathy just in the beginning, when she was having problems, when she was having troubles, when she was struggling? Where were you? Where were you addressing the issues? Where were you talking about mental health education? Why didn't you come up then? So we have to address these issues just in the beginning, so that we can work collectively for this issue. We cannot just bash, someone's family. We cannot just bash someone, they killed themselves. Okay, giving up is not a solution. Just having distraction is also not a solution. We need a permanent solution, and the permanent solution is getting awareness, getting education. And education is not something limited to school. It's, parents needs to get educated about mental health. Those people who don't have access to education like schools, even they have to get, educated about mental health issues. Like only 40% of people in Pakistan have access to education. What about 60%? Well, how are you going to tell them that, okay, mental peace is important? So there are some families, like you have teachers in their family, you have like doctors and everyone. Are they all aware of their emotional intelligence, their issues, their mental health struggles, mental, well-being? Are they aware? No. So we need to get education when, we can control things, not after, the things, then when it's a chaos and you're like, okay, yeah, I have empathy, I sympathize, or I bash them, or, they should not have killed them. I think you should come and talk about it whenever you get chance. Yes.
Just the last thing I want to ask you is there any specific thing you want to tell our viewers? Like one thing which is your aim, that is your message to spread to everyone?
Yeah, of course. But I would like to tell you that how I coped with all my struggles. It was just like, okay, it's a struggle every day, first of all. It's an everyday struggle, and you have to choose yourself every day. It's not one time thing. You have to put effort in yourself every day. So I would like to tell people that please start doing some inner shadow work. And what is inner shadow work? Inner shadow work is, something we have like a shadow personality. We have issues, we have problems, we have good things in us, and we have bad things in us. So we need to, do like an exam. Just examine yourself, examine your soul. That what good deeds you have done, what bad deeds you have done. So that would be the way to have compassion and have empathy towards other people. And you will also know that, okay, I also did hurt someone in past, and I also did this, and okay, I'm also good at this thing, when you start talking to yourself. So self-love, self-respect, just being with yourself, being mindful, having self-awareness, this is very much important. Just start doing these things. And what I realized, I was just like, okay, Afsheen is never going to abandon herself. And she's not a weak person. Like, I'm never going to say to Afsheen, okay, Afsheen, I love you, but you have problems, you have anxiety, okay, you have issues, you show emotions, start crying, you cry, baby. So I love you, but I can't be with you. Okay, if someone is telling you this, let them go. Because if Afsheen is telling this to Afsheen, Afsheen is never going to abandon Afsheen. So that's my message to everyone. That's my aim, to tell everyone that recognize your own your own worth, and never ever abandon yourself. And just be with you, stay with you, have tawakkul in Allah. You have to struggle. Life is a test. It's never said anywhere, in Quran or anywhere that it's a Jannah. This life is not a Jannah. It's a test for everyone. If you are having good things in your life, you are tested. If you're having bad things in your life, you are tested. So that's how I learned things. And yes, you can be weak sometimes, you can cry sometimes, but that's not a weakness. That's self-awareness. That's knowing yourself, and that's your strength. But make your strength, make your pain, convert it into your power. Come back stronger every time. There's no shame, just like having a bike and hurting yourself and getting back again on the bike. It's fine. It happens. It's fine. Sometimes it's not fine, but you're with you. Allah is with you. And I hope when we start doing things collectively, beneficial for our society, then we will have our loved ones coming to us, supporting us. So first of all, start loving yourself, be a support for yourself, and then inshallah, things will be great one day. Inshallah, things are already great. Be grateful. Things are already great. Our mind, it gives the signals to our body, and that's how our body, it reacts. So things are in your mind, and for mind, you have to, take care of your mind and the well-being of your mental health, just like you take care of your physical health. That's it.
I will make sure that I follow your self-love principle as well. So I guess that brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you so much, Afsheen, for being here, for taking out the time to tell us about your experiences regarding mental health. And I hope that you continue to shine on and preach self-love. Thank you everyone for watching, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.